All right, week 6, college football recaps. Let's start with TCU at KU. The Horned Frogs go and get it done in Lawrence. They win 38-31 in what was an awesome football game. Watch this one on Sunday, man. A bit of a defensive struggle in the first half. You were probably really enjoying that first half, Ted. And then you just had some situations early in that game. That fumble by Jalen Daniels at the goal line, that was obviously a big play in the game. Instead of going up 7-3, give the ball back to TCU. They go 99 to go up 10-0. But then Jalen Daniels goes down, and it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, well, that's kind of the game. But Ted, Jason Bean, he had other ideas, man.
Dude, he made some throws. Now, he played really well. For coming off the bench in a moment like that and replacing a guy that, up until that point, the entire country thought was the whole team. The last couple of weeks have been impressive in a defensive battle against Iowa State where they didn't score in the second half, won that football game. Now they lose their star player, and they got a guy come off the bench and make some of the throws and some of the plays that he made. That was impressive.
Yeah, and he played a lot for him last year, right? People remember that name, Jason Bean. But plot twist. Turns out a backup quarterback can actually play good football and can throw it well. That can happen. And
must be nice.
Must be nice. And he came in and played really, really well. And the second half of that game was so much fun to watch. That second half, it turned into that offensive battle that we thought it might be going into the game. Just went back and forth like Kansas. They would take the lead. TCU would answer, right? And even when Bean threw that horrible interception, right, and TCU scored after, like, Kansas comes right back and answers. It was a lot of fun to watch. And, when the game was on the line and TCU's offense had to put a drive together, it's what they did, man. Big plays from Kendre Miller and Quentin Johnston. And Quentin Johnston finally had the game, Ted.
Woo, what do you have, like 14 catches, something like that?
Going into the game, he had 12 catches on the season, and he had 14 in this game.
He's a beast. I still think, like, individually, I think he's the best receiver in the conference and one of the best receivers in the country.
Yeah, some of the stuff he did after the catch was fantastic, right? The game-winning touchdown, as it turned out to be, was an awesome catch. Now, I really was hoping that Kansas would go score that touchdown because I think they would have gone for 2 and gone for the win, and I wanted that drama, but ultimately, TCU's defense gets a stop, and that game delivered, right? Yep. Game Day went to it, and it was a shame that Game Day was there, and then it was on Fox Sports 1, FS1, yeah. But it was fantastic. Jason Bean came in and was amazing, and Max Duggan, now all of a sudden, you look at this performance, you got to start talking about that young man for the Heisman Trophy. Like, he has been fantastic since he's taken over.
Now that I think about it, is Jason beat? Did he play last year when they almost beat us?
Yes.
Jalen Daniels was out, right?
Yeah, really mobile guy, tall, skinny dude. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, he looked good. But yeah, Max Duggan, hey, you can't argue with the numbers, man. And they look really, really impressive, efficient, dual threat. He's played great.
Utah at UCLA.
Ooh,
UCLA gets it done.
You, man.
42-32, man. UCLA looks good.
They look really good.
And all of a sudden, Dorian Thompson-Robinson is like the best player in the country. I mean, the guy's playing with confidence. Just another fantastic performance from the Bruins quarterback. 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. And this game was tight, right? Coming out of the half, 14-10. Coming out of the half, and then UCLA's offense just exploded, took the game over. And as good as DTR was, that running game I thought was the real difference. Zach Charbonnet went off. A casual 9 yards per carry
Out.
for Charbonnet.
Well, whenever you think back to Chip Kelly and when he had his offenses going the best, everyone thinks of it as a spread, but it was not. They led the country in rushing almost every year, like 350 yards a game or something crazy. So
spread you out and run inside zone.
That's right.
That's what they did. And, Charbonnet was great. I thought UCLA's offensive line was really physical at the point of attack. Biggest play of the game was probably the rising fumble, which was unfortunate because, man, I thought he was really good.
Yeah.
In the game. Like, that was critical mistake, but I thought Cameron Rising threw it well. It was a weapon with his legs. There's something funny about watching him run. And I think it's the padding he wears underneath his jersey. Like it makes him look just very robust. And then he takes off and you're like, that little thick dude can run, man.
He's got that flak jacket sticking out under his ribs.
It is. I mean, he's got extra padding in that thing for sure. But I mean, that fumble, it ends up getting returned to the 1 yard line. UCLA punches it in, and that's a nice win for UCLA. And all of a sudden they are very much a factor out there in the Pac-12.
How do you rank the top of the Pac-12, the top 4 teams?
UCLA looks the most impressive physically.
Mm-hmm.
And for them to be able to run it against Utah like that, and I know Utah's defense isn't what they were a season ago. I understand that, but they got some physically imposing dudes, man. The Bobo kid, the wide receiver, had a couple more touchdowns. They just
took it to 2 really good teams in back-to-back weeks, Washington and Utah. So I think they're impressive.
They are 6-0 for the first time since 2005.
Wow.
So it's taken Chip Kelly a while, man, but he's got it rolling. Got to give him his credit. Texas A&M, Alabama. We did not get the beatdown we all were hoping for.
I know. I kept looking at that thinking, oh my God, are they going to do it again?
I mean, would you think about Saturday for OU fans? You get just throttled by Texas. USC wins, still undefeated. I think we can all acknowledge how that makes a lot of people around here feel. Oklahoma State gets a nice win. Oklahoma State is undefeated. Texas A&M holds their own against Bama. I feel like OU fans, we just got piled on Saturday, man. It was not fun.
Every now and then, whenever it goes bad like this, you just gotta just immerse yourself in it, right? Just feel all of the nastiness, just wallow around in it, get all muddy, get all nasty, and just bring it on. Bring on the pain. It'll make us better, right? We're going to come out of it stronger.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, A&M Alabama, in a shocking revelation, it turns out Alabama's probably a better football team with the reigning Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback.
Yeah, but Milrose makes for a more entertaining football game.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
talk about your peaks and valleys, right?
Just the ultimate, oh my God. And then, oh my God, player. It turns out if Alabama commits 4 turnovers and misses 2 field goals, they can play a close game with Texas A&M. And like you mentioned, Milroe did some exciting things, did some fun things, but some points in that game just holding on to the ball way too long, right? Fumbles, had the pick. It was all in the first half. I mean, it was an absolute roller coaster with Milroe, but came down to the last drive of the game. A&M had the ball to go win it, and there was the fantastic play on the jump ball from Evan Stewart. I'm not sure PI was the right call that kind of set up that dramatic situation on the last play, but hey, they called it. Some people have complained about the last play. Johnny Manziel in particular. Did you see his tweet?
I didn't.
He was not a fan. Here it is right here. one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. You have one play to beat the number one team in the country. That's what we run. So there was that. But I thought Evan Stewart, I'm pretty sure it was Evan Stewart there, the outside wide receiver, like he ran a good route. Haynes King was just like an hour late with the football. Yeah. I don't know what he was doing. It's like he's there. If the ball's on time, Texas A&M wins that game. I believe that. But the dude, it's like he had to see Evan Stewart get open first before he let it go. I was like, throw the damn ball, kid.
You got that split second window to fit it in there before it's too late. Oh man. I, for one, though, am glad he waited too long to throw the football.
If A&M would have beat Bama,
I can't live in that world. I can't.
That would have been, I mean, you talk about making a bad day even worse for OU fans. Oh my goodness. A couple other things on that game. I hate the way Haynes King throws. It's nothing personal against the kid. I just really dislike watching him play football. I'm not a fan. I'm not. If you liked punts, go check out the first quarter of this game.
Who would you rather watch, Haynes King or Petrus?
Haynes King. I mean, I'm out on Petrus. So out. But the other thing is Jahmyr Gibbs is fun to watch, man. Whew.
Yeah, he is. He is.
I mean, explosiveness. Once he sees the hole, man, I thought he was really good for Bama. And there's some runs where I'm just kind of on the couch making random noises like, oh.
Yeah,
I was just like, wait, what am I doing? But he was fun to watch in that game.
Yeah, that's a transfer portal win for Alabama there, and they've had a bunch of them, and that one for sure has paid dividends for him this season. He's a stud.